Welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast, and today we're going to be talking about chapter 15 of Wolf Bride. So, this is the pre finale chapter that was released this week. Now, this was an interesting chapter because we start off with our main character, and Morgan went to the heart of the primal magic so that Morgan can shapeshift to the primal form. But we see that place is taken over by Sawyer, and all mechanical stuff are there, so they're trying to mine something from that place. We come back to the pack to inform them about that, but then we see something's happening, and they're swaying, and Bastien is sort of drunk, and then we understand that it was saying goodbye to Naomi, so their speaker died, and it's a ritual, a cultural thing that they do to say goodbye. They drink, and then suddenly we see. So we kind of start losing hope because only Morgan and our main character were on their full senses, and Bastien and every other wolf was kind of swaying, and the drinks they had started taking effect. But then we see Jet, who was not drunk, so we think Jet can be a great asset in this battle. But here we go. Jet starts to blame everyone. First Morgan, then our main character, that we led Sawyer to that place because it was safe until now. And then one thing led to the other, and he challenged Bastien for a duel to become an alpha. Of course, he did. Another challenge, and this time we will see. And Bastien was in no position to fight, but he still can't refuse. So he goes into that battle, fights with him, and our main character will be able to help. But still, ultimately, Bastien will get hurt really bad, and Jet will win the duel, which is, of course, to begin with, was not a fair fight. But Jet will be the new alpha, even though he cheated, and then will be exiled from that place. Morgan, our main character, and Bastien, Lila, Callum, they'll be sorry, but they will have to bare their throat in front of the alpha because they didn't have any choice. And we saw really good character development of Isabel, but again, Isabel had to choose the pack because there was nothing else she could do. And then when we got exiled, then it's really interesting because our main character says we will build a pack within us, with the three of us, Now, depending, she will call Morgan girlfriend or Bastien boyfriend or both, depending on who you chose or how you chose in the last chapter. But irrespective of who you chose, you will still get to romance both of them or either of them, whoever you choose. So nothing is locked at this point. And then we will get to heal Bastien for coming fights, and then we'll go to the heart of the primal magic, the three of us, and we will fight. Hugo will help us, but ultimately the human Sawyer's men will overpower us and will shoot us with some dirt bullets or something, and then we will lose our senses. And when we will wake up, we'll be inside a van. So we're being taken somewhere, but we will be connected to a lot of stuff. Like it's like a moving, like in hospitals, which you have a gurney, a moving stretcher, and a lot of tubes are connected to us, and we see there are lots of people there, and it doesn't take longer for us to understand that these are all the werewolves who were taken by this guy Sawyer. And Morgan thought that his dad Sawyer took them to change them, to help them, but he was doing something inhuman. So this was a horrible scenario there. But then Sawyer comes in, and we get the biggest revelation. Remember how we got to know that the pack and the Sawyer industry, they had an agreement, and that Sawyer's great grandfather broke. It was not any great grandfather or grandfather, it was Sawyer all along. So he's been alive for 160 some years, and he says, the primal magic, the heart of the primal magic. So it's basically about connecting to nature, and then it helps you, regroup and sort of regenerate the tissues, or it helps you heal. So that's what he has used. So all these werewolves, so that he's trying to mine something from them, and finally he has reached to the heart of the primal magic to get this thing out, to sell this to the world, and renewable energy and all the loads of stuff he says to just get more money. So we learn this thing, and then we will get to sort of play along with him in this diamond scene and go with him and collect a really important weapon. And we'll also see a detail about him, an experiment result that is he's sort of becoming like a werewolf. Not like a werewolf, but he has been alive for this long and using the power. So he's also not, he's fragile to silver. So we get a silver knife that we can use in the battle. Then we come back again, Morgan, Bastien, and him. And then Morgan gets to know the biggest truth, the second shocking revelation that it was his plan all along to bring Morgan, and Morgan was not able to, shape his, shift her shape because this guy Sawyer was drawing energy from her. So Sawyer didn't do anything but just used Morgan as a pawn, and just he's been using Morgan since the time he found Morgan out. And after that revelation, Morgan gets angry, and you will see Morgan shifting her shape, and you can also shift your shape, and you can choose your werewolf form. I chose the black one. It looked kind of similar to Bastien, and it was interesting. Morgan's werewolf form was also amazing. And then we attack Sawyer, and then a fight breaks in. We are definitely winning this. But what will happen in the last chapter? What this fight will bring to the surface? And this is a love triangle book. I don't think anything like this is happening, but will there be a choice like, we'll be able to choose one love interest and the other one will die? Because that's how kind of, classic love triangles work out at the end. But that'll be really interesting to see how this book concludes. One thing for sure, next week, this book and Shipwrecked, both of them will come to an end, but Wolf Pride definitely is something else. It was a lot smutty, like smut and romance it focuses, but it's still just more than that. It's not just limited to hookups and smut, but it's the story, unique plotline, a supernatural interesting storyline they have there. I'll love to see how they conclude the book in general. Let me know your thoughts and opinion on this chapter today, and what are your thoughts on or your vision on the last chapter? How do you see it unfolding? Make some predictions. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.